Thought it would be fun to do like a chatty Q&A while we are driving to Little Palm Island, which is like our favorite
Why are we going
hotel in the world, to celebrate our 4-year wedding anniversary.
Just
I'll start with asking one that was meant for you. When
Okay.
did you know Cass was the one? How many months into dating?
Right away, I think.
Actually?
Well, when we met at Coachella, it was certainly a memorable night. Then get back to New York, we fortunately lived close to each other, so we saw each other again within a couple of weeks. And I think by, a month in, I was pretty convinced. Or yeah, I guess probably a month in, I was pretty convinced that Cass was somebody I wanted to spend more time with, and
That was the one.
Yeah, and then I wanted to marry.
Like, we met each other and started dating right away, and then we were really serious right away.
I do think that the argument is, like, when you meet someone that you really vibe with and you get along with and you trust each other, that it moves quickly from there.
We met at Coachella in April, and then we basically didn't start dating until like Memorial Day was kind of the first time we like hung out all weekend together. And then I went home to meet your parents in July. So right before I met Matt, I had just quit my job to become an influencer full time. When we were going on our first trip together, we were going to it was like a very ridiculous trip.
It was back when I was in finance and you had to take 2 weeks vacation consecutively. Yeah. So we were going to Europe for 2 weeks.
Which was to me was crazy. I remember getting in the car on the way to the airport and I was devastated. I think I was crying.
You were hysterical?
Yeah, I was crying because I had $0, literally $0. I was waiting for...
All I can think about is the meme. And their little bird.
And then, so basically I was hysterically crying because I was going on this trip and I had no money and I just felt so uncomfortable because I was waiting for a brand deal to hit my account and it never did. So I was going on this trip with no money in my pocket and it just felt really strange. I don't know why I told that story, but I thought you guys would find it funny. Where in Miami are you? We live in Edgewater. We love our apartment building. It's a beautiful luxury apartment building. And it's very boutique and quiet. And it's just very central in Miami. Have you and Matt fallen out of friendship with other people in your 20s? If so, what did you learn? Throughout the years, my life has changed so much and I've grown so much as a person that my friends have naturally changed. And my view on things is I actually don't think that's a negative thing. I think that sometimes a lot of people just stay the same and you grow. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that if you're constantly growing and evolving, naturally who you want to spend your time with and who your friends are is going to change. I feel like our friend group changed obviously once you became an entrepreneur and you're no longer working finance. I wouldn't say the
friend group changed. I think it evolved and you made new friends in addition to your other friends.
Yeah, I also think when you own a business and you're running a business, you're naturally going to gravitate towards other people who are entrepreneurs because you can connect on different things. How have you dealt with jealous friends or friends that haven't been happy for you? I feel I think the sad reality is that a lot of people aren't going to be happy for you. And I think especially when you start to do better in life and see a little bit of success, the more people aren't going to be happy for you. And I think that's just the reality. And I think for me, I've chosen to just kind of back up a little bit from people like that because I need people who are supportive of me and someone who isn't going to talk about me behind my back or things like that.
There's also no better feeling than having those friends that do support you and do lift you up. And I think it's so important to be that for other people. Even if you don't receive it from your friend group, being it for other people is the right way to be. And the more you surround yourself with people that are cheerleaders or, the better success you and all your friend group will have. So it's I think the biggest thing in my life that I feel so strongly about is talking positively about other people and offering advice and encouragement when you can.
On that note, I also feel whenever someone who follows me writes me a really nice message, goes out of their way to be oh my god, I love what you're doing with Orium, blah 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 blah, I just feel that's such good energy to put out into the world in terms of being genuinely happy for other people is something that if you're not doing, I feel like just the karmic energy in the world, like you will not get back that energy if you're not putting out that energy. Even if you're in a place where you feel like you're not where you want to be success wise or anything wise, just putting it out that energy of like being happy for other people, I think it'll come back to you too.
The rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah, you love
One
that.
of my favorite quotes.
Did you tell Matt what kind of engagement ring you wanted, or is it a complete surprise? It was a complete surprise. Matt was very adamant on him.
If I'm going to put in the time, effort, energy, and money into something that's the most I've ever spent on anything in my life, that I wanted to say in picking something.
Yeah.
And that's not how everybody does it. Obviously, everyone has their own opinions on picking the ring, but I felt confident that I could get something that, you know, is a timeless ring that would work.
Point of view on when to decide to take income from a new business versus investing it back into the brand. I think you need to invest it back into the brand for as long as you can, as much as you can. I think that most founders don't cash out that much money from their brand because you need the money to like fund your business to grow it.
Funding a business by yourself or like with your partner or whatever is very hard and cash intensive for the whole life of the business. So you might shoot yourself in the foot by taking money out too early and then just run into struggles later. But obviously you need to pay yourself enough to live how you want to live while still being able to grow a company.
Someone said, common misconception about you. I would say that I think people...
That you're a clean girl.
Yeah, that.
That's a TikTok term.
Yeah, I'm actually not the cleanest. I think that like sometimes I might come off as someone who like cares so much about like material things and luxury things, and I definitely do. But I think that I've definitely evolved into feeling like where I've matured, where I no longer feel like I need to be in like head to toe designer everything and need to like have the most expensive lifestyle. I feel like I've learned, the more I've like gotten security about like where I'm at in life, the less I feel like I need to be like showy. I don't know. I feel like some people probably think I give like mean girl vibes, but I'm not like that at all. I would say, I think comments like that don't ever bother me because I know who I am in real life and how I treat people, and I'm a very nice
shy.
person. I'm more shy and awkward than you probably think. Like I'm not the person who's like ever the loudest person in the room. I think I'm more like quiet and reserved, and that sometimes can come across as like bitchy. Best and worst part about being in business with your spouse. I would say that like we never get to turn off. Like I feel like we have no boundaries.
It's hard.
You know, we both have such different points of view and different ways of doing things, which I think makes us a good co-founders, but then also it obviously causes like friction.
What's the best thing? They said the worst thing.
The best thing is like just getting to build and share something with you. Like I feel like it definitely has created like such a bond that I feel like
you also have so many ups and downs, struggles and hardships and
trials. It's like you feel like you can get through anything.
Yeah, it strengthens you as a relationship as well as growing together in business. You learn together, and you know, hopefully at the end of the road is, you know, a lot of success that comes from something, and you get to enjoy that as well. But the journey is special to do with someone you love. Hard, obviously, and there's a lot of, you know, differences of opinions, but it certainly is a rewarding experience for us. I'm not sure it's everybody's suited for it, but you kind of learn as you go.
What are some of your personal resolutions for 2024? I keep saying that I feel like for me, this is the year of like learning how to say no. I think for so long, I feel like I say yes to everything and I try to do everything, and I feel like I'm losing my mind trying to like do everything. I feel like I need to figure out what to say no to, like to cut back on. I'm also really trying to get my finances in order for 2024. Like I want to do a better job of being able to have like budget myself better. I feel like I don't need to spend so much money on clothes and stuff. And I want to be able to eventually like invest in other brands, trying to just get more art organized. I feel like there was so many things I did to help me become an entrepreneur. And when I first started Aurea, like working out like very regimentedly and like writing in my journal and meditating and all those things. And I feel like I almost like stopped doing the things that helped me get to a certain point in my life. Like I haven't been as good at like following my routines. So I actually started doing a video on this. So I'm going to try to document and share like what I'm doing and trying to get back into my groove of like being on a routine. What are your resolutions?
To work less. I really need to think more about this.
I know.
I don't have any that are good answers right now.
How did you succeed on your influencer career and build a large community? For me, it's always been a very like slow and steady grind. I've been doing this for a long time. I quit my job in 2017 and I was doing it kind of like on the side for a few years, for a year or two maybe prior to that. I think it's just being consistent, not giving up, and always trying to reinvent yourself, always evolving. I also try really hard to kind of always put my followers first. I don't always do that. It's really hard. But sometimes I try to like take a step back and
What do you mean by that?
Like sometimes I feel like when you're an influencer, you can get very caught up in being like, oh, I need to be at this event and this show and this and that and maybe that's not even what your audience wants to see. Like I try to also always bring it back to be like, oh, okay, would my audience like to see that? Or is that just like an ego thing of something I want to do? How many people are on the Aurea team? So we have 2 employees. We're a very small team. We're very small and mighty.
We have 2 great employees. They're both distinctively different in their skill sets. And they're remote. But we are always looking to hire people and expand our team. We have 2, one's mostly on the creative side and the other's mostly on the analytical business development side.
What's on your vision board for 2024?
So I asked you this question and you gave me a horrible answer for this one.
Me?
Because your new vision board, I guess, is not materialistic. So it's just like,
it's
like a photo of a savings account or something. And I'm like, well.
So I feel like my vision board used to literally be like a G-Wagon, a Kelly bag. And like, I just am not motivated by things anymore.
What's your number 1 materialistic thing?
That I want?
Yeah. Thing.
Am I allowed to say finishing the apartment?
It's not.
I really want that Cartier watch that I almost bought over the summer. But okay, so I think that like, if it doesn't consume you in a toxic way, using material things to motivate you is not a bad thing at all. Well, like I haven't been that motivated by material things lately, and it's almost been a negative because I feel like then it makes me complacent. Like I think dreaming really big helps you like
and hungry.
Makes you more hungry. Yeah.
I
think
agree.
that as you get older, now I'm like, oh, I just want like a big house one day. I want to be able to.
You told me you just want to scoop ice cream in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, sometimes I want to just, give up and live in Key West and scoop ice cream.
This is real.
And like literally shut off my phone. Oh, my other dream is to one day have like a little cottage in the Keys in like Marathon area. Yeah. I thought your wedding was only 2 years ago. Matt and I had a secret wedding.
New York City Town Hall.
Yeah, we got married in 2019.
Jarring experience.
In New York City, like the courthouse. We didn't tell anyone. Like I never posted photos of it or anything like that. Okay, sorry. The camera died. So the funny thing about this is that our parents met that day for the first time. Our parents literally met at our wedding.
At our city hall.
Yeah, at our city hall wedding, which is just so funny to think about. The room that we got married in was so ugly. It literally had it looked like a teacher's, it looked like a 3rd grade classroom.
Yeah, it was an experience.
It was an experience.
But it was cool. I actually think if I could do all weddings again,
I like doing private.
Yeah,
I don't have any regrets about having a super small wedding. I think it was nice and intimate. Okay, we're arriving. Let me know if you guys like this video. We can also do more videos like this and answer more specific questions. We have business or relationship or whatever. Okay, bye.